Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well. From wherever you're watching this channel, I'd like us to weigh in onto this debate that has been growing about BBC.
A bullet's torn through the cap and its owner, Eric.
There is a growing debate about KDF's involvement in the atrocities that were witnessed during the Gen Z's demonstration. That story is out there in the public domain, ladies and gentlemen. Kenyans have reacted, very many Kenyans, and I'm going to take you through a couple of reactions. You'll be shocked. But one particular person I want us to focus on is David Maraga. Now, David Maraga is a presidential hopeful. That is something that you already know about. He's going to vie for presidency. And of course, there are people who say that he's going to vie alongside Okiya Mtata. We don't know about that, but that is another ticket that people need to watch out for. But let's focus on David Maraga's reaction to BBC. But before we focus on the reaction, I wanted to have a honest opinion on the documentation. Do you think BBC did the right thing by exposing what happened? There is talk about BBC for chaos. There is talk about BBC paid propaganda. Those are some of the handles which are being pushed around. So do you believe that BBC did the right thing by sharing that story? Why am I asking you that question? There's a Kenyan who was surfaced and said that
I feel like BBC Africa should apologize to Kenyans for releasing that video at a wrong time. That video was supposed to be released 1 month to election. Ndio Wakenya wasisahau.
That story is good, but should have been shared, I think, like 2 months or 3 months to election. It would have had some impact. But because it has been shared now, where we are almost 2 years to election date, this is not the right thing for Kenyans at this particular moment. According to that Kenyan, he believes that BBC wangeihold alafu wakaileta baadaye. That would have had some, a negative impact in Ruto's campaign team. So I want us to focus on David Maraga. There's a tweet here which I'll take you through, ladies and gentlemen. But first of all, before I take you to the tweet, kindly support this channel by liking this video and subscribe to this channel if you had not subscribed before. And to our existing subscribers, I want to continue thanking you so much, because without you, this channel wouldn't have grown. So without wasting much time, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into this tweet. David Maraga said, the documentary released by BBC Africa today should prick our conscience as Kenyans. The right to picket is a constitutional guarantee which was violated. The disproportionate use of force against the youth last June is yet another reminder of the urgent need for IPOA and other investigative agencies such as Internal Affairs Unit to carry out their mandates expeditiously. If confirmed, the alleged participation of the Kenya Defense Forces in suppressing civilians would be a grave violation of Article 241(3)(c) of the Constitution, which strictly limits KDF deployment in civilian matters to clear emergencies with full transparency and accountability to Parliament. Those behind this violation of the Constitution and the rule of law are reminded that although the wheels of justice may grind slowly, we will eventually have a leadership that will hold them accountable for their actions. Bravo, brave journalists and young Kenyans who use their phones, their cameras, and their courage to capture the truth second by second. Over 5,000 images and videos pierced together in the documentary expose what the powers that be tried to bury. In a time when we cannot trust the words of this administration, it is citizens' action and fearless journalism that ensure the truth is not erased. We deserve a Kenya where fidelity to the Constitution is the only order of the day and the rule of law is respected. So that's what happened. And then There's a video here which was showcased, this video, about a Kenyan who was regretting why BBC had showcased that documentary now. Why didn't it just, retain it paka ifikile wakati wa election, so that they can, share it, so that that documentary would ultimately have some ripple effect in the re-election of William Samoei Ruto. So this is what is happening, ladies and gentlemen. But just listen to this video first.
The time tuende kwa election watakuwa wamesahau. Wakenya sijui tunakuanga aje, tutakuwa tumesahau your story and we will vote this man in again. I am feeling that that video was supposed to be released in 2027 around mwezi wa saba. 1 month to election. I am very sure 70% of the people wangeenda kwa ballot wakisema no. Very sure, guys. That was a good weapon. That was a good weapon. That was a perfect weapon. Kimbelembele ni nini sasa? Hiyo video ingereleasiwa 1 month to election. Kai. Anyway.
Yes, very well, ladies and gentlemen. So based on David Maraga's post and based on that reaction from that Kenyan citizen, KDF was adversely mentioned. KDF is supposed to be very professional. We believe that KDF is still very professional. We believe that this could have been just some rogue individual who could have probably cladded in KDF uniforms, or we can as well say that KDF was deployed. Some individuals were deployed to counter the situation, and then they overreacted. They had never anticipated that Kenyans would make true their threat of invading the parliament. So what they did, they were caught unawares and decided to fire aimlessly. Could we say that that is the narrative, ladies and gentlemen? One thing that Kenyans agree on right now is that the government did a huge mistake by doing what it did. But the big question is, who is to blame? Who is to blame? Should we blame William Ruto? Should we blame the command? The command hierarchy. Should we blame Aden Duale? But if you can blame Aden Duale, it means we can blame William Ruto, because Aden Duale was a CS who served under William Ruto's, who still serves under William Ruto's government. So we can say that back then he could have issued orders with the blessing of the president. If he had issued orders to allow KDF on the streets, he could have done that but with the blessing of the president. Of course, there has to be consultation. Duale cannot just deploy KDF on the streets kabla rais hajatoa a nod. But again, someone argued differently, that look here, the parliament invasion took place before the KDF were deployed, the Gazette notice. So if this individual was from a KDF, then who sent him? See, that's the biggest question. Who sent him? Because KDF was deployed after this invasion, because now the government realized that the police had been overwhelmed by the demonstrations, and then there was talk that there was some interference. Yani kama kuna polisi waliruhusu hii kitu ifanyike, so there was suspicion that polisi ni kama washaanza collude na wananchi. So that is why KDF were deployed after the invasion. But this is a matter that touches on what happened before that deployment. So who sent them? I also want to take you through this other reaction from a Kenyan who has also expressed his opinion regarding what happened. I want you to pay a very keen attention to also this second video, ladies and gentlemen.
I've watched the documentary, the BBC documentary. And let me tell you something. Whether it was orders from above or not, this person, or these people who have been implicated in this, they woke up one morning and they said they are going to kill people's children indiscriminately. Si kukilile ati na target huyu naua, na target ule naua. By the way, then it means wale wenye tuliendaman, by the way, those people who went for this desire for change revolution, we were just, thought away. Is it thought or direction away? Direction away from bullets. We were just like this because these people, the way how that documentary now brings it out, Aiweki ni kama ati kuna watu walikuwa targeted. No, people were not targeted. They killed indiscriminately. And this, you can't even, let me tell you, wachana na story ya orders from above. No. See, I will not speak about KDF. KDF, how you have been implicated in this needs to be studied. By the way, it needs to be studied. How KDF, our last line of defense, how you have been implicated in this issue. Hey, bro, me hata sasa sijui, I don't know. Anyway, let's not divert from the story. Now, somebody will come and tell you that these were orders from above. I refuse. Fine, they will be orders from above, but the action of you killing indiscriminately mutually excludes, in probability tunasemaga mutually exclusive, it mutually excludes that issue of you being given orders from above. Yes, it does. As in, I feel very bad. I feel very disappointed by our security apparatus. This is so bad. Even us Kenyans, it is extremely bad. Hey.
Yes, very well, ladies and gentlemen. So based on Okia's statement, based on the Kenyans reacting, I believe you've developed some conclusion regarding the explosive documentary from BBC. Everybody is talking about this. And Maraga, being a presidential hopeful, has promised that if he's elected, he's going to deal with these rogue individuals ruthlessly. That is what Maraga is promising Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen. So just go below in the comment section and tell us what you think about the reaction from Maraga and Kenyans. Do you believe that this posting imefanyika prematurely? It ought to have been shared baadaye, kabla election. Was it prematurely done? Just go below in the comment section and offer your reaction. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, try a second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.